Namaskar, my dear brothers and sisters, and my humble pranams at the holy feet of Rev. Lalaji Maharaj, Rev.BABUJI Maharaj, and all elders of our mission. Today I would like to read one of the divine messages of Rev. Babuji Maharaj, that is cosmology. Here, Babuji Maharaj is telling about the creation, the origin of the creator and the creation. So, let me read and try to follow whatever Babuji says. That your doubts and confusion about the genesis of creation or the doubts about the origin of this creation and the creator, that will be completely, that will be solved. Those doubts will be removed. Therefore, here I would like to read. Please listen carefully. Babuji said, the world is in existence from time immemorial, and the correct date is not to be traced out. Although certain persons have attempted to fix down the Srishti era, the only thing before creation was divinity in its pure and original state, devoid of all solidity and grossness, and every object in its essence was merged in it. Okay, everything was merged in it. Then, before the creation came into effect, there was only the latent motion around the center, and adjacent to it and in it was present the idea of creation. You may call it the first thought or initial knowledge. It may also be called motion, kshob, vibration, force, or anything for the sake of understanding. It was the ultimate cause of creation and of everything else necessary for it. When the time of creation came, the idea which lay hidden or sleeping in the latent motion matured. Okay. Matured and churn up the whole motion, and created force or power which rushed out. The subtlest particle got heated up. Thus, the coverings set in from the very first day. By the effect of continuous heating, the particles began to come into motion. Its intensity went on increasing and adding veils after veils to it. Grossness began to develop by the effect of the growing intensity and vibrations. The action of every particle started and went on multiplying till reality was wrapped up within, like a silkworm in the cocoon. Thus, at the beginning of creation, there was a motion, stir. This motion was the basis of creation. Motion. The entire creation is in motion. It is moving. Motion. Because of motion, the entire creation is existing. It was sacred thing next only to God. The same thing appeared in the form of the human mind. When the time of creation came, preparations commenced, currents flowed, vibrations intensified, forms of knots started, momentum gathered, churning process set in. Okay? The process of creation came into full swing. Before creation, there was only space all over. Do you understand? Thus, being God was a later development. Here we mistake that God is the ultimate thing, means without beginning or without end. But here, what Babuji is telling, before God also, there was only space all around. So, that is what beautifully Babuji said. And God was a later development and it took some time for its appearance. No creation, no creator. Only space was there. My dear friends, my dear brothers and sisters, we see the space as endless and eternal. So we conclude God as well to be eternal. Time followed after God. After God had come into being. Thus space served as the mother of creation of God. The creation, the world is mother of, God is the mother of this world. And who is the mother of God? That is the space, what Babuji is telling. Thus space served as the mother of creation of God, and time was the negative state of it. Everything must have its end in endlessness. Motion was also there in everything. However fine or invincible it might be. One might also ask, who created space then? This is a question. This world is created by God, and who created, and God is created by the space, then who created space? That is a question. One might ask, who created space then? The only possible answer can be that the need for creation of God and of the universe led to be the cause of the existence of the space. See how nicely Babuji is telling. Because God should be there. Only then there will be creation. So, the God and the creation should exist. For that purpose only, the space. The space is there. So, therefore, I think you have understood. Why not then worship space instead? So, if space is the mother of God, as you say, Babaji Maharaj is telling, the Abhyasi is asking, why not then worship space instead? Why should I worship God? Let me worship space. That is the question. There is definitely, Babuji says, there is definitely a hint about it in Rig Veda. Yes, nobody knows. There is a hint in the Rig Veda how to reach space. But the mystery remains unsolved and unclear for want of precise clarification. But that method is not, no clarification, no clarity in that method. Therefore, we cannot worship space. If one develops within him the state of Akasha, that space, that is called Akasha, he has then reached the highest point, which corresponds to the final state of negation. If anybody dissolves in that space, reaches the space and becomes one with it, then all the things, he will negate everything. The negation will go away from him, which everyone must duly aspire for. The solution is no doubt wonderful and at the same time perfectly correct too. He agrees, Babuji. The Akasha or the state is the absolute. Again he says, what is absolute? That is Akasha. It is not composed of particles, nor is there any action in it. Anything there in this space? Nothing. No particles, no action, nothing is there. No attributes, nothing is there. It is perfectly pure and unalloyed. It is, of course, very difficult to bring it home to the mind of everyone. That's the thing Babuji says. It is difficult to bring this concept, this, the what is called the existence of space cannot bring easily. It's not just by reason or by logical conclusions. Nobody can prove the existence of space. That is the thing what Babuji told. Let us read the Rigvedi, the Vedic Rishi. Nashadiya Sukta means the slokams, that is poems. What he says, let us see. Is there any relation between what Babuji says or Lalaji says? Between them, the Rishi says. Let us see. So that is what he says. Number one, the Rishi. Then means beginning of this creation and the creator. Then even non-existence was not there. Nor existence, no existence, and no non-existence was there. Then space beyond it. So nor existence, there was no air. When there was no air, not the space beyond it. What covered it? What covered it? We are covered by the what is called the space. Then what was covering? Where was it? In whose keeping? It is impossible to imagine what is the state of this space. Was there then cosmic fluid? Any cosmic fluid? So like ether, cosmic fluid in depth unfathomed. So depth unfathomed. Number two. Then there was neither death nor immortality. This is the wonderful thing what the realized souls, they speak. Then what was there? Neither death, no death at all, nor immortality. We think by succeeding death we will beget immortality. But the Rishi says, in the beginning, space was alone. There was neither death nor immortality, beyond both. Then nor was there then the touch of night and day. Day and night was there. No. The one breathed windlessly and self-sustaining. So wonderful. The one, that one was there. But was it breathing? No inhale, no exhale. For self-sustaining. We are breathing, inhale and exhale. For self-sustaining, for our life, for our self. We have to exist. We are breathing out and breathing in and out. But then, no breathing. So, there is no question of sustaining. There was that one, then one without a second. So there was one. There was that one, then, and there was no other. There is no what is called diversity, multiplicity, no difference. Nothing was there. There was only one thing, that alone, without a second. Okay. Third, at first there was only darkness, wrapped in darkness. Means this darkness, wrapped in darkness. How to imagine that? Ordinary mind, our mind will fail to understand what this Rishi says. Nor was there then the torch of night and day. No torch of night and day were existing then. There was that one then, and there was no other except that one. And that one was there, and none. Everything is extincted. That one was there, existing. See, nothing is not. Babuji said there is no term as called nothing. So that Babuji specifically he told, if there is nothing means what is this, all these things, creation, creator and everything. No. Don't believe. Don't come to a conclusion that in the beginning there was nothing. No. There was that one thing. But he was not having anything. But the death quality or anything. Nothing. Without anything. He was alone existing. So Babuji said not nothing but nothingness. From that nothingness only God came. You understand? There was nothingness, not nothing. You had nothingness. It was also a state, isn't it? Nothingness. At first there was only darkness, wrapped in darkness. All this was only unillumined cosmic water. That one which came to be endorsed in nothing. That one, where from that one came? Again, that one came from nothing, nothingness. From nothingness, the God has been, came into being. In the beginning, desire descended on it. So, after that, in the beginning, desire. This desire started in the beginning itself, not now. That was the primal seed born of the mind. So the first mind, Babuji said, no, the first mind, stir, motion and everything, this first mind. From the mind, the desire started. The sages who have searched their hearts with wisdom know that which is kin to that which is not. Only the rishis, highly evolved rishis, can have that experience of that primary, that nothingness which was existing. And they have stretched their cord across the void and know what was above and what below. Semenial power made fertile mighty forces. Below was strength and over it was impulse. So slowly everything in this creation, the creator and the creation start emerging from that nothingness. But after all, who knows? And who can say when it all came and how creation happened? Who can say? So even the Rishi himself, he is putting forth what is his feelings, without any prejudice, without anything. He is just telling the truth. So who knows at that time whence it all came, how all these things came, and how creation happened. Even how creation happened. So who knows truly whence it has arisen. Whence this creation started? Who started the creation? All these things, the time of creation, everything is a mysterious thing. That is what is reality. How can I say that is reality? Who knows about this creation, when it started? That is when a question was put to Babuji Maharaj. Babuji Maharaj, as you say, there is a Mahapralaya. During Mahapralaya, means uh, uh, Mahapralaya, there is a Mahapralaya, and the entire creation will merge in the center along with all identities. So when that is the case, I will also merge in the center. Then will I born again in next creation? As you said, a next fresh creation will be started by the special personality. So will I be born in next creation? So like that I put a question. Then Babuji said, no, I don't know whether you will be born or I will be born. Only God knows. You see, that is truth. Here, the Rishi is telling the truth. The same truth Babuji Maharaj is telling. So, truth always trims. Truth has no covering. Only lies. A liar only will think 100 times. A man of truth will never think. Just he will express whatever in the mind. So, therefore, this is truth, what he said. So, who knows truly whence it has arisen? Whence all creation had its origin? The creator and the creation. When does it come? When did it come? No. Where he fashioned it, or whether he did it or not. How he fashioned, where he fashioned all these things, wonderful things, matter, lives, species, stars, sun, moon, and everything. How? How? This is it's a design, it's a project. How God? And where was the material? All these things. And with what material he manufactured this, produced this universe, this cosmos, this manifestation. So that is also a mysterious thing. So the Rishi says, fashioned it, or whether he did not, whether God fashioned it or not, the Creator who surveys it still surveys it all from highest heaven. Everything is done by God in the heaven, means in the ultimate. And he knows, or he may be even, or maybe even he does not know. So all these things, cosmology, from the genesis of before creation, nobody knows. Even the creator of this universe, he doesn't know. The God himself, he doesn't know. How does it? How did it? How all this manifestation came into existence? As Babuji said, who knows? You may be born or I may be born. God only knows. So, in this sense, the God only should know the Creator. Perhaps the Rishi says even God may not be knowing. That is Indian philosophy. They will not just bluff. No. Indian thought, school of thought, whatever fact is a fact. They will tell a spade as a spade. That's all. For the sake of God, They will not say a lie or a falsehood. They will not say. Whatever experience they had, they will tell in a very purest manner. Naked truth they will tell. That is what Babuji Maharaj, Lalaji Maharaj, they have experienced that genesis of that before creation. They have experienced it. They have had it, that in clairvoyant state of that consciousness. They had it and they told to the humanity. That's all. Thank you very much. I think you would have understood about the cosmology of the creation, the creator, and the space. That's all. Thank you very much. Have a divine day. Om Shanti.